Well, you said you had to make tough decisions. In fact, you said that the nature of the decisions you had to make prompted you to conduct this process in a different way this year. I want to put another graphic on the screen, this one from Senate Minority Leader Dean Skelos, a man who once held the position you now do as Majority Leader. He says this: the state budget is the most fiscally irresponsible budget, produces the worst possible time. It's no wonder the budget was negotiated in complete secrecy, because it's a complete disaster that could push New York from recession to depression. In the end, he says, the governor gave in to the wishes of the Speaker to dramatically increase taxes and spending. And Senator Smith readily accepted the plan, simply in hopes of getting it passed on time. His comment opens the door to two questions. One, secrecy. You've been outspoken in saying, even as late as today, that you weren't happy about the secret nature of this, but why was it conducted as quietly, as shrouded in secrecy as this was? Did you have to go behind closed doors?
Yeah, well, you can't negotiate a $16 billion deficit in front of cameras. Matter of fact, the few times that we were in front of cameras, you saw it became more of a one-upsman type of process. Nobody gave any suggestions how to do anything.
Pardon me for interrupting for just a moment, but a lot of people have said that that argument is setting up a straw man, because nobody was asking for cameras to be allowed inside your private negotiations. They were just asking for information. And there were no press releases. There was a week there that the governor did not give a press conference. Nobody, not rank-and-file legislators, knew anything about what was going on.
Well, no, that's not true. My conference was there for 2 weeks. We were on Sundays, and one thing you will find with me, most people say, well, Malcolm, maybe you're not a strong leader because you give too much of your power to your members. I think that strengthens leadership. I trust my members. They're very smart. My members were involved with the negotiations throughout. They actually led, and I gave them the authority to make decisions in those categories on how to spend, how to cut, what to do. Healthcare, education, public protection, they were all involved. We actually involved also the minority members. Dean will tell you, and if he doesn't know this, he should ask his members. They were in conversation with my members. We have written documents from his members giving us suggestions, some of which is in the budget. Now, all that being said, I am absolutely not happy with the process. I'm a very transparent individual. That was something that we ran on, and that's something that we are committed to, and we're going to do better. The only difference here was we were thrusted into a moment where you had a $16 billion deficit. We had a $1.6 billion deficit reduction that we had to do, that Republicans could not do for a whole year. We did in 2 weeks. We had to do Rockefeller drug laws. We had a lot of stuff going on at one time, so we were meeting as quickly as we can. A few times the governor invited the minority to the meeting. They came and they left. We had an obligation to try to fix this. In 45 days, we lost $3 billion in revenue. We were losing millions of dollars every day, Brian. There was no choice we had but to try to stop this hemorrhaging. And I promised the people of this state of New York, you are going to see a better process. We have more time now. On Monday of next week, I'm taking my conference off campus. We're having a what worked and what didn't work conference. Talk about what we didn't like about this process and what can we do moving forward right after April 7th, so that we can try to make this better. There's no question this should have been done better, but the circumstances did not allow us to do what we could do in terms of keeping it as open to the public. We did. The moment we had bills, our conference put them online. And anyone can check that. We put the bills online immediately because that's what we wanted to do. We made sure that we had the 3 days for the bills to age so that we wouldn't have to go through just bringing a message of necessity, and it happens right there on the floor. We did the best we could under difficult times, but I promise you, and I make a commitment from my conference, which is the most that I can do, that we clearly will be a lot more transparent in the future. And you will see that just in terms of what we do going until the end of session.
And last question, as we run real short on time, is with respect to the second part of Dean Skelos' criticism, saying that you supported this because you needed it done on time, save face, in essence. The question is out there tonight. Do you have the support of your conference? A lot of people, including Democratic senators, have been outspoken about some portions of this budget that they say are unpalatable to upstate New York and to Long Island and places outside of New York City. Do you have the support needed to pass this budget?
I have support of my conference in order to move this budget forward. And one of the things you will find out, I don't muzzle my members. But what Albany is not understanding is because in the past, when a member spoke out, that meant that was it. I let my members speak out when they disagree with things. It doesn't mean that we won't come at the end of the day and support everything. I think they should. I think when the more people speak publicly, the more ideas come about, and we do some positive things. We have support of our conference, and I'm hoping that the Republicans recognize there's some things in here for education, there's some things here for job creation, there's things in here around the environment, especially for SUNY universities upstate New York, waterfront projects in Buffalo, that I hope they support because it's going to be big for upstate New York.
Oh, we'll ask him about that when we're joined by Dean Skelos in just a few moments. In the meantime, we'll have to leave it there for now, but lots more to come in the coming weeks and months. Senate Majority Leader Malcolm Smith, as always, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me, Brian.